Hi, this is Jundo. Welcome to Tree Leaf. We're going to continue talking about sitting with the body, and I'm going to show you a few alternative ways to sit if you can't quite get in the lotus posture or even the Burmese like I'm sitting now. But first I want to show you a couple of mistakes I sometimes see people make in Zazen, and that is to cross the legs the wrong way if they're trying to do that. One of the things people do is kind of sit like you do at summer camp, like this with one foot underneath. Well, let me tell you, that's going to start hurting after a while. You see. So don't do that. And other people, they tuck their feet in all kinds of weird ways, or one knee up in the air. As I said, if you're feeling pressure on the back, if your knees are up in the air, well, it's not a good thing. What you should do is when you sit, swing back and forth a couple of times, forward and back a couple of times. Find that nice balanced position, not too tight, not too loose, knees on the ground. But let's say this is just impossible for you for physical reasons. Maybe you have a bad back. Maybe you have bad knees. Maybe you've given it the old college try and you can't sit like this. Does that mean that you're hopeless? Of course not. There's a wonderful invention that we use here. I recommend it to you. It is called the chair. But when we sit Zazen in the chair, we also don't sit the normal way. What do I mean by the normal way? No slouching, eating popcorn. Okay? We don't sit Zazen like this. Though I'm going to tell you again my exception. If you need to sit that way and it feels balanced and comfortable to you such that you can forget the body, I'm not going to say 100%, but I'm going to say generally it's not a good idea. So how do we sit? Well, if you do have a zafu, or as I said, some firm blankets will do, place it behind you. Do not sit leaning back in the chair, but sit just upright, lightly supported by the zafu. If you can, your feet should be flat on the floor such that your legs are relaxed and there's no pressure. If you're like my grandmother, who is like about 5 feet 2 inches tall, you could put a stool there or some phone books, if you remember what phone books are, and lift your legs up. Okay. Again, reaching up to the sky, but not too militaristic, not too loose, easy, comfortable, upright. Just like when we're sitting on the zafu, take a couple of swings this way, a couple of swings that way, and find that place. And again, it might change during Zazen. You might find during Zazen that you do need to, for some reason, maybe this leg is getting a little tingly, just put a little weight this way or shift your weight forward a little. It's not the end of the world. As a matter of fact, the body is constantly changing. The Buddha said all things are change, and that includes the way we sit. Even a lot of the Japanese temples are introducing chairs for their older sitters. And I'll tell you that, the young Japanese, they can't sit on the ground like the older generations can either. They struggle too. Okay, that's chair sitting. I think it's pretty obvious. There's one more position to recommend, and that's what's called seiza. Now, I have to tell you that what is called seiza in the West is not really seiza as you sit in Japan. In Japan, they actually just sit directly on the heels, like this. Let me go so you can see a bit. And, well, this is how you sit in a formal Japanese way. And it hurts right here, especially after a few minutes. Sometimes I have to sit this way in a formal event in Japan. And after 20 or 25 minutes, the tears are coming out of my eyes. This is not what we call Seiza in the West. Seiza in the West uses, you can either use a Zafu again, or they sell some neat little benches that we even have people make at home. As long as you make it sturdy to hold your weight and it doesn't fall apart when you're sitting on it, it's just some pieces of wood stuck together. But they do sell them online. Or you can use a Zafu. What do? You just get on it like you're riding your little pony. Yeah? See that? Sitting on the Zafu sideways. Amazing. This helps that it's a very firm Zafu. It's not the squishy kind, so it can support even the full-bodied Zen guy like me. And here we go. Upright. My legs are relaxed. Not too tight, not too loose. And we sit, looking at the wall. I could literally sit like this for hours. Beautiful. Okay, now there's one more way. We're going to talk about this in an upcoming episode, I think, but it's for people with really, really serious health conditions. Some of them are in bed. We had a fellow, one of the beauties of our Sangha is you can take the camera, and our Sangha anyway, was in a hospital in traction, just like in the movies with his leg, up in the air in wires. He sat Zazen with us in what was pretty much a full body cast. You can. Here's another Zazen posture. It's called lying flat on your back. We have a couple of members I know do this. The only big risk, you might fall asleep. Very important not to do that. Keep your eyes 1/3 open. Focus on your breath and sit. We also have the philosophy at Tree Leaf. If you're sick, you're not feeling good, and you need to moan, just moan. Moaning too is Zazen. Just like this. Now, another posture that I've seen some of our members use is copied directly from the Buddha when he was ill. This, I believe, is called the lion pose. Right? You can do this, no problem. But again, our philosophy here is you find the posture or postures right for you. Don't be too quick to give up on a posture and keep fidgeting around. I'm not saying that. But there's nothing wrong if you're really having difficulty with a posture to give a little bow and try something else, even standing up if you need, in order to find something that feels right and balanced and comfortable and lets you forget the body. And here's the thing. If it feels right and balanced, let you forget the body and just sit for a long period, just having no problem, paying the body no never mind. If it just feels right, I think it is. Shall we sit in that way of your choice?